We are constantly bombarded with ad after ad for the online retailer boasting the lowest prices we've seen in, well, ever. Temu. Shop like a billionaire. But do billionaires shop at retailers who actively sell their banking information to thieves? Sell them electronics that burn down their houses? Or cosmetics so toxic that it sends them to the ICU? But as the saying goes, when something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Launched less than 2 years ago in September 2022, Temu has managed to acquire a massive user base in no time.
Temu has become the most downloaded shopping app in the United States.
It is one of the fastest growing retailers the world has ever seen.
It took discount retail app Temu a year to get to 51 million monthly active users in the US. That's approaching the 67 million user base that Amazon spent decades building.
And even if you've avoided becoming one of the millions downloading this viral app, it's almost impossible to ignore the Temu fever that's infected the internet.
Temu just sent me 2 ginormous packages, so I'm gonna do an unboxing.
You guys, I'm back with another huge Temu haul.
I guess I'm known as a Temu girl now, and I just moved in my new apartment, so let's do a Temu haul.
But the Temu craze is more than an online trend. It's the next frontier of shopping. According to a recent study by Deutsche Bank Research, almost 1/3 of US consumers are content shopping less at Walmart and Amazon because of Temu. So, how did a shopping app that emerged seemingly out of nowhere come to pull shoppers away from these tried and trusted brands? Well, it turns out the virtual retailer has a few tricks up its sleeve to keep consumers hooked.
Temu is cheaper, aggressively promotional, programmed to sell you useless stuff, and it's totally addictive.
Arguably, the biggest part of Temu's success comes down to 2 words: low prices. And we're not talking about saving a buck or two. With its slogan, "Shop like a billionaire," Temu allows customers to buy whatever they want without worrying about the cost. And with $2.21 for 5 pairs of ankle socks, wireless over-the-ear headphones for $6.95, 97 cents for the earbud cleaning kit, and $169 for a phone case, who are shoppers to turn down a bargain? Yes, in these economically trying times, Temu has been able to transport customers back to an era when price gouging wasn't the norm and pocket change actually had worth.
You know, it's the cost of living crisis, and I do believe that everyone should be able to afford simple things like clothes and hoovers and cleaning products.
But this has left the internet with one question: how is Temu able to sell products at such cheap prices? Well, according to Channel 4's recent documentary, The Truth About Temu, the answer to that question comes down to the company's local infrastructure and extensive network of manufacturers in China.
The reason Temu is so cheap is because it doesn't manufacture any of the products it sells.
Essentially, this means Temu is a virtual market where thousands of Chinese manufacturers can sell their goods directly to customers in the US and other countries. Naturally, by cutting out the middleman, the platform can make huge markdowns. However, the savings don't stop there. See, once the social media craze has convinced you to download and open the app, you're instantly met with discounts, rewards, and promos on top of the already low prices.
So I'll go through Temu, right? And I am seeing like unbelievable deals. Then I get a little spin the wheel thing. So I've spun the wheel, right? And the options are like $20, $50, $100.
Oh.
I've landed on the $100.
Temu even has a referral program in which the more you convince others to sign up, the more credit you earn, enabling thousands of shoppers to earn enough credit to receive goods from Temu without spending a dime.
Y'all, look at this big Temu package I got. And there's more stuff on the ground. I love buying stuff, but I don't like spending my money, so I'm gonna show y'all everything that I just got from Temu.
This is one of my Temu free gifts. All pink stuff. Cute washing machine.
So today we will be doing a unwrapping of my free Temu items.
These freebies and discounts raise an obvious question. How is Temu turning a profit? Well, turns out, it's not. Temu currently doesn't make any profits. In fact, considering the cost of shipping products from China and all the coupons the retailer offers, it's losing an estimated $30 on every order. And no, it is not because Temu has a flawed business model. Instead, the retailer's losses are all part of its strategic long-term approach to breaking into the US market by selling products as cheaply as possible, according to Ivy Yang, the founder of Substack's Calling the Shots. Some analysts suggest that Temu spends about $2 billion every year on its marketing strategy, which includes social media ads, display banners, paid searches, and influencer collaborations.
So I've got these amazing items for my baby boy.
She's being paid up to £1,000 by Temu to make videos showcasing their products.
These tactics hit the exact consumer psychological buttons that keep shoppers shopping. For example, the social media posts and paid influencer collaborations are used to FOMO consumers into installing the app, where they're then introduced to bonuses and coupons that encourage them to keep buying.
You can get all of these things for a really cheap price, there's discounts everywhere, so I was definitely hooked in from that.
According to retail analyst and consultant Neil Saunders, these tactics make Temu as addictive as sugar. In an interview with BBC, the analyst explained, "The experience and cheap prices give consumers a little dopamine hit and keeps them coming back for more. But it isn't just discounts that keep customers purchasing from the app. See, Temu has gamified the shopping experience to the point that it's become a virtual Vegas, with spinning wheels, prizes, minigames, and all the addictive associations that come with that title." And according to Mark Griffith, a professor of behavioral addiction at Nottingham Trent University, all the timers, countdowns, and other animated elements that create a sense of urgency on the app are akin to the techniques used by slot machines to draw gamblers in. But how addictive is Temu really? Well, Channel 4 decided to put the app to the test, recording investigative reporter Ellie Flynn's brain activity when using Amazon, Temu, and a gambling app. The results? Browsing Amazon provided the lowest stimulation, gambling provided the most, and Temu fell directly in between.
Do you think there could be a risk of addiction to the Temu app?
I think there could be a risk. If you're getting these little pleasure spikes consistently, it's a lot harder to come off.
And social media is full of testimonies that appear to corroborate this finding. But while no one is immune to the pull of Temu, from Gen Z to boomers, the app's most dedicated patrons often belong to the older demographic.
I mean, it works great.
Yes, according to various social media users, parents are hooked on Temu, and their children, well, they're concerned. One Reddit user recently shared their worries about their mother's excessive shopping habits on Temu, writing, "Over the past few months, my mother, 45 years old, has become addicted to Temu. She saw the advertisements on things like TikTok and checked it out, ordering a few packages. Flash forward to now, and in the past 48 hours, we have gotten 3 Temu packages, all of them filled to the brim. And what do they have? Cheap-looking crap. I am seriously concerned for her finances. I know that Temu is supposed to be cheap, but she's ordering so much so often that it worries me." Another user shared similar concerns about their father, posting, "My father, Boomer Gen, is completely and utterly addicted to Temu. He is super defensive about it. I'm not addicted, no I'm not, while purchasing literally useless junk that I couldn't say is any more useless if I tried. He seems to get completely hypnotized by the running sales timer that in the next couple of days, ding dong, parcel at the door, and it's a fucking mug holder. The 7th he has, or sunglasses that really don't protect from the sun at all, or clothes that are 2 sizes too small." And the Reddit user was right. Temu is infamous for its poor quality control, unpredictable sizing,
Have you seen the state of them? They're fucking it'll fit bloody 20 people.
and unnecessary products.
A mini fridge with an LED light and a mirror on the front of it to hold your makeup. I don't even wear makeup, but why not?
Dude, I literally bought all these like nifty gadgets, like AirPods cleaners I bought from Temu. I bought these Tupperware containers from Temu.
It's all you just don't need, bro.
Someone took away my Temu app because I just bought a claw machine. Shut up.
Still, Temu's dopamine-triggering discounts, features, and bright orange packaging successfully encourage shoppers to spend recklessly on these items. And this Temu addiction doesn't just affect customers' wallets, but their world. Yes, it seems Temu's shop like a billionaire philosophy that emphasizes quantity over quality has led to poorly manufactured products that deteriorate after only a few uses, further contributing to environmental waste. As one Reddit user put it, "It's just the products are usually only 2 to 3 weeks from going into landfill. Some of the most useless junk I have ever seen." And the fact that these products are ordered online and often delivered overseas only furthers the environmental repercussions of these purchases. According to renewable energy resource Green Match, excessive packaging waste and carbon emissions from transportation facilitate over 1.6 million parcels every day. It all impacts our planet much more than we realize.
There is no question that this increasing trend of buying things just to buy them, just because they're cheap and trending, just because Temu flashes bright colors and promises of free goodies in our face, there's no question that that is adding to our shared environmental crisis.
The fast fashion industry, of which Temu is now a significant part, is responsible for 10% of the total global carbon emissions, according to Green Match. This sector also produces approximately 92 million tons of waste and consumes almost 79 trillion liters of water per year. Plus, about 80% of Temu's shipments are made through air, which is a higher carbon footprint mode. Based on estimations by Greenpeace.org, a single air shipment from China to the US or Europe produces around 10 kilograms of CO2, which means Temu, with its 584 million annual shipments, potentially generates more than 5.8 million tons of CO2 emissions every single year. And mind you, this doesn't include packaging waste and energy usage. Okay, so let's recap. Temu is a shopping app that uses various tactics to turn customers into click-happy bargain hunters. The addictive nature of the platform can then potentially hurt users financially and the planet, well, detrimentally. That's all, right? Not by a long shot. See, Temu isn't just hazardous to the environment and the common bank account, but the people. As for how the app puts our safety at risk, that comes down to several concerning practices. The first we'll discuss has to do with something every internet user should hold near and dear in the digital age: your personal information. Recently, Temu has been making headlines for data harvesting concerns, with consumer organizations like BBB criticizing the app for its appalling privacy policies.
Like many online companies, Temu straight out tells you that it collects all kinds of information from your name, phone number, and address to your birth date, social media photos, and your social security number. It also automatically collects data from your phone, tablet, or laptop. Information like the operating system, browsing history, and location data.
All of this information, if compromised or accessed by scammers, could potentially cause serious problems for shoppers.
The more information they get, the better, easier it is to steal their identity.
And while Temu itself hasn't been convicted of harvesting or misusing users' data, its parent company, PDD Holdings, has. This is primarily because of Pinduoduo, another PDD Holdings-owned bargain shopping app that was suspended by Google Play due to malware. And the way the app allegedly used this malicious software was something that surprised even cybersecurity experts. See, through malware, Pinduoduo was able to bypass users' cell phone security to monitor their activity, check their notifications, read their messages, and even change settings.
The app can also obtain user data like this photo of a beloved pet taken from a user's album.
But while the app was suspended after these findings, did that ramification take care of the malware issue? Or did the software simply move elsewhere? A Pinduoduo employee who asked to remain anonymous told CNN that the app had assembled a team of roughly 100 engineers and product managers to seek out vulnerabilities in Android devices and find ways to exploit them for profit. The source claimed the team was mainly disbanded in March 2023. However, they were told they would be transferred. Where, you ask? Well, that would be Pinduoduo's sister app, Temu. Naturally, this has made security experts skeptical when it comes to the user safety of the virtual retailer.
Until the Pinduoduo can release full disclosure of how did this incident happen. Before that, we shouldn't trust any applications from Pinduoduo.
And even apart from the app's association with Pinduoduo, Temu has built a reputation for privacy issues of its own after a number of shoppers have taken to social media to accuse the platform of stealing their personal banking data. TikTok influencer @Fevia is one victim who shared her story.
So my bank details got sold to the black market by Temu. So they took $400, but it was in like really small portions for 2 months. So like once a day they would take out like $3 so like you don't catch on to it. And I kept getting messages from the bank I was with being like, suspicious activity.
On Reddit, another user shared a similar experience, writing, "My problem began after purchasing and receiving my products when I began to notice small increments of money disappearing out of my bank account. Now for reference, I used my Robinhood debit account to make these purchases using Apple Pay on the Temu app. Never entered any banking details or anything, mentioning as I've seen someone ask on here if they can steal if you are using Apple Pay. Yes would be your answer. But incredibly small increments, barely noticeable, a few cents to a couple dollars at a time, maybe once, twice a week. It took me a week or two to notice it, and then confirm it by simply really paying attention." The post gained significant traction as the comment section filled with more stories from shoppers who allegedly had their bank account information stolen, including a claim from one user that Temu stole $254 from their PayPal account. But funds weren't the only personal data that were allegedly compromised by the app. In a Reddit post, one user claimed, "I idiotically installed Temu on my phone last week to see what these deals were that I keep hearing about. Uninstalled the app after 10 minutes. Today, I woke up to see an odd notification on my phone pertaining to a approved Facebook ad. Apparently, they made a page on my account, made a post about selling women's lingerie, all in Mandarin, had Facebook boost it as an ad, and now people are asking why I'm selling women's lingerie / if I'm Chinese." With the number of security complaints against the app increasing every day, these are just a few examples of the risks users allegedly run by using Temu. But data isn't the only concern lurking behind those ridiculously low prices. Here's where things get even more unsettling. Ever wondered who actually manufactures all these abundantly cheap products? Well, US investigations have revealed that there's a high likelihood that Temu implements forced labor.
They have also been linked to the oppression of the Uyghur people in China, who are currently under attack by the Chinese government in ways that vaguely meet the definition of a genocide.
According to the US State Department, about 1 million Uyghurs, an ethnic group of Turkic-speaking Muslims, are detained in concentration camps in the Xinjiang region, out of which about 100,000 Uyghurs are working in conditions that would be classified as slave labor. The Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party also published a report showing that shipments containing products made with slave labor are entering the US on an everyday basis through Temu. And even though the US government passed the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act to make sure that products manufactured in the Xinjiang region do not enter the US market, Temu has confessed that the company has no system to implement compliance with the act. So, what does all of this mean? Well, simply put, it's possible Temu's rock-bottom prices are the byproduct of human suffering, a revelation that raises serious ethical concerns for any conscious consumer.
Consumers don't, all things being equal, want to purchase goods that are contaminated by slave labor or forced labor.
But the issues with Temu don't stop there. Beyond the human cost, there are also serious questions about the safety of the products themselves. See, according to several reports from consumers, some Temu items contain toxic material or substances.
I think we found something that we shouldn't buy from Temu. It feels toxic. It feels like there's some type of ingredient or something in there that just, maybe it was the smell. I'm taking it off and I'm not going to be using it again.
But these chemicals can leave customers with more than just an unpleasant odor. In fact, some online users have experienced serious health complications after purchasing goods from Temu. For example, one TikTok user went viral after posting a video of mystery skin hives she claimed were caused by a Temu package. And the comment section of the video was filled with viewers sharing similar experience with products from the shopping app, as one user commented, "My Temu tracksuit did the same thing." The TikToker posted another video a couple of days later to update followers that despite visiting 3 different doctors, she still has not been able to figure out what exactly caused the rash. Unfortunately, skin hives are minor when it comes to the other reactions caused by Temu products, some of which have left customers in the ICU.
There's another story here about an 11-year-old girl who looks to have got a terrible burn on her hand when she used glue from Temu to apply fake nails.
It all began when a little girl named Chloe got fake nails and nail glue for less than £1 on Temu. At just 11 years old, Chloe was already an expert at the at-home manicure, and so she confidently began applying the product to her nails. This was when Chloe spilled glue on her hand. A mistake, sure, but one that was par for the course for any amateur manicurist. However, that's when Chloe turned to her mother.
"Mom, it's burning!"
the child said. Less than 24 hours later, the burn had gotten much worse, and Chloe was taken to the ICU, where doctors said every layer of her skin had been burned off. There was no fresh pink skin beneath, just white, just nerves. After a 10-day-long medical treatment, the little girl ended up getting 2 skin grafts. The James Trial law firm recently took to social media to report a similar case.
Now we have Temu that has sent out this stress ball, and this lady received this stress ball she ordered from Temu. She got it, and there was like this white powder substance on the outside. Maybe she used it and she thought, oh, this is okay, it's just part of the filling or whatever. Turns out that that white powder was like an anthrax type substance. It made her really sick, and she went to the hospital, was in the ICU.
Although the woman made a full recovery, it's likely that if she wasn't provided with medical assistance soon enough, it could have ended much worse. There have been several more cases of people reporting allergic reactions that they received from different Temu products.
You can see my body is filled with all these little pox kind of things, which is really painful. And
this is allergic contact dermatitis that was caused from adhesive that was on the abdomen massager that was purchased from Temu.
This is simply because overseas shopping platforms, like Temu, do not follow the same safety measures that countries like the US do.
You need to be aware that other countries that we're now regularly buying products from, they do not have the same safety standards and protocols and inspections that we do here in the United States for all of our manufacturers and our shippers.
In Channel 4's The Truth About Temu, investigative reporter Ellie Flynn bought 3 different items from Temu: a silver effect necklace for 2.17 pounds, a gold effect chain for 2.97 pounds, and a children's jacket for 11.09 pounds. She then took these steals to a toxicology lab at the University of Reading, where Professor Lawrence Harwood tested them for toxic chemicals. As for the results, well, Professor Harwood was shocked.
How concerned are you by these results?
Well, I'm very concerned. These are not adhering to any guidelines for the level of toxic heavy metals.
The silver necklace she bought had more than 10 times what the UK legally allows for lead, a chemical that Professor Harwood pointed out, even in small quantities, can lead to major health complications.
Reduced sperm count, miscarriage, stillbirth.
Similarly, the gold chain had 27 times more cadmium, a metal that's been linked to bone degradation and kidney failure, than what the UK allows. Even the children's jacket the reporter bought had toxic chemicals in seriously high concentrations. Such findings have been raising eyebrows all over the world.
Stop buying from Shein and Temu. A Korean investigation found children's products contain high levels of carcinogenic and toxic chemicals. One pair of shoes contain more than 400 times the permitted levels of chemicals that have been linked to heart diseases and some cancers.
But Temu products don't just pose a threat chemically. An investigation by the Toy Industries of Europe found that 95% of the toys sold on marketplaces like Temu didn't comply with EU legislation. The investigators purchased 19 different toys from Temu, 18 of which were found to pose severe safety risks for children, including choking and suffocation hazards. On top of this finding, one of the items, a 24-piece butter slime kit, had a boron migration 11 times higher than the TSD limit, an excess that can permanently damage children's reproductive systems. But customers are safe if they stick with the certified products that are sold across Temu, right? Not exactly. See, while certain items on Temu might advertise that they're FDA approved, Channel 4 found otherwise.
The FDA told me that it has not certified any of the products I sent them.
Likewise, the documentary found that pliers sold on Temu that advertised VDE certification, a technology company that tests and certifies electrical goods, were not in fact VDE certified. The documentation was fake, a forgery that wasn't just dishonest, but if the product wasn't up to scratch in terms of insulation, potentially deadly.
The result could be an electric shock, and in the worst case, this electric shock could lead to death.
Speaking of electrical shock, research conducted by Wish found that 75% of the heaters sold on the Temu marketplace were capable of the same malfunction as well as starting fires. And clearly, these aren't the only items sold on Temu that pose an inherent risk to shoppers. In January, Natalie McNeil, a mother of 3, lost her home when a fire sparked from a $58 tablet she bought from Temu burnt everything in her house. She suffered superficial burns to her hands and face, which could have ended up a lot worse. Still, the aftermath was devastating for Natalie, as she explained. "I'm in a temporary home now, but I've lost absolutely everything. I still can't get over it. I've nothing. No washing machine, no fridge. Literally nothing." When asked about her opinion of Temu after the incident, Natalie said, "I just don't want this to happen to any other families. Up until this happened, I thought Temu was fabulous because of the discounts. It's all very appealing when you're short on cash. But I would advise people to be very careful and very cautious when ordering these items. And I wouldn't recommend buying anything electric from the website at all." So the question becomes, what can you do as a consumer? Well, as far as data safety concerns go, it's recommended that you do not install the Temu app on your devices. Instead, access the marketplace through your browser. Moreover, rather than inputting your card details, use trusted payment interfaces like PayPal to handle your transactions on marketplaces like Temu, because unlike a bank account, where you normally hold most of your funds, PayPal allows you to deposit only the amount required. Furthermore, PayPal allows you to open a dispute for unauthorized activity or issues with your purchases. When it comes to the safety of the products themselves, the first step is to check the reviews and ratings of the product. And while you are at it, beware of any reviews that sound bot-generated. On top of that, many experts strongly recommend against buying electronics or kids' items from Temu, as those involve the most risk. Still, if you're concerned about a purchase, you can use tools like testing swabs to detect concerning levels of any toxic substance, such as lead.
It is a lead testing swabs. I've heard from a lot of people that Temu can have lead in their products, and I ordered a bunch of toys for my daycare kids, and so I wanted to get a lead testing kit before I let them play with the stuff.
But even if the company started selling safe and high-quality products, is it really ethical to shop on Temu? After all, with a business model that drastically impacts our planet and links to enforced labor manufacturing, the bargains Temu advertises always come at an unforeseeable cost. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Just make sure that whatever decision you make aligns with your values, economically, environmentally, and ethically, lest your purchase come with an unadvertised bundle of buyer's remorse. If you have more topics you'd like us to dive into, leave a comment below and consider subscribing to stay updated. And while you're here, consider checking out our previous video on other questionable merchandise brands like Shein.